We have just absolutely smashed the Creative Industries Federation, the Creative England hashtag Creative Coalition 20 Festival with a live stream, a web stream, which you won't believe. You've got to see it to believe it. It was off the scale.
It's a kaleidoscope of colour against a soundtrack of hustle and bustle. Then crisis struck. A curveball none of us were expecting. Panic, then stillness. UK industries to lose up to 400,000 jobs this year. The country's creative industries to face a loss of 74 billion. UK architecture set to lose 1 billion in revenue. 6 in 10 jobs in the UK music industry could be lost this year as live music and touring collapse. Deafening silence.
This is our call to arms. Come on.
We won't keep our curtains drawn, and we won't leave our stories untold. One day soon we will pick up our tools and press the play button once more, because power surges when people come together. This is our plan to reimagine. This is our creative coalition, and we're not going down without a fight. Creativity is in everything we do. It's in the music we listen to, the games we play, the photographs we take, the films we watch, the clothes we wear, and the news articles we scroll through every morning. Creativity is in our blood. It's our undeniable DNA. We won't be trained, we won't be set, we won't be cast. But someday soon we will reimagine, redefine, and reignite. We're an unshakable force to be reckoned with, and we will come back stronger than ever.
Hell yeah.
Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear us loud and clear? We are one unified voice, and this is just the beginning. The world is on the verge of a new creative era, and this is your chance to be there when it all began.
Here we are in central London at BBC Television Centre on a cardboard, code and creativity built pyramid stage for the Creative Coalition 20 Festival live stream from Steamco. A celebration of the life of this amazing man, Sir Ken Robinson, whose #1 TED Talk has been watched by over 300 million people. 300 million people have seen that talk. Today, in memory of Sir Ken Robinson, we live streamed a session, a call for creative carers to walk the talk. To walk the talk. And I came down here to White City Place, where we just live streamed the most amazing event. The cardboard pyramid stage you saw there was something we built in cardboard and code for a 3-day weekend we did for Glastonbury. We also did a festival in a field. A festival in a field called Art Camp. We got a license for a 3-day event, a festival. I just want to show you just a very short film about that, to show you what we've been doing with lockdown, with funding from the Arts Council, and with funding from the National Lottery, from LGFL, from DCMS, and more recently, state aid. Ten years ago we went to Camp Bestville for the first time and just had a wonderful time and thought, how can we bring this creativity back to our kids' school? And we started Steamco, running mini creativity festivals in schools. This summer in lockdown we've done a Parliament launch event, we did 3-day pop-up virtual events at Eden Project, we did Your Glasto, where we built a cardboard pyramid stage in a school playing fields just down the road from Glastonbury. And we thought, how can we beat that? Well, here we are at the School of Art and Wellbeing in Devon. When we would otherwise have been at Camp Bestville, which was obviously cancelled, we've had a fantastic team of people pull together a weekend event, hashtag ArtCamp20. We had a range of creative activities for families to get involved with, not just here, but live streamed onto the internet. We had an eclectic art trail in a meadow out front where we literally mowed a path through the grass and filled it with art of people that we knew, people we reached out to, and also people in the local community as well. Our lighting designer created the most incredible night trail that was just mind-blowing. And we've had just a fantastic time with performances, with talks, with community engagement activities and creative workshops. The kids built a castle because, inspired by Camp Bestford, again inspired by the venue, the setting, Lulworth Castle, we decided to set out to build castles in the sky. A phrase that so typically implies not being really supposed to be thinking or aiming above your station. To inspire kids to not just aim high but higher than high, and to aim as high as those castles in the sky. We built a cardboard castle, we built several, and at the end of the day we realised it's all about connection, it's about community, it's about people, and it's people that have made this event possible here at Art Camp 20, and we want to roll this out across the UK now. For the rest of the summer we want to run events like this, and we reach out to partners who've helped us in the past, people like Barclays, people like Google, people like CassArt, to help us again deliver these events, deliver these activities for people not only here but elsewhere across the internet and across the world. Thanks for listening. If you'll support us as a patron or a patron by being a part of what we're doing with your art, do get in touch now. So there you are, Art Camp, 3-day camp festival in a field in Devon. We did Glastonbury. I'm going to show you how we're doing all this. If you're interested in the tech, stay there, because I'm just about to show you how all this works. Most people are tuned in to this incredible conference. Let me just show you this incredible conference that the Creative Industries Federation have got going on at the moment. I should be able to just cut live to it. Is that live? Yep, there we go. So this is the Creative Industries Federation conference live. I can drop myself on top of that, so I can go in the middle, I can go like that. I can pop them up on a screen over there. Not my cup of tea, it's all a bit sort of, I don't know, a little bit. Let's make that window, let's get rid of that black bit, we can zoom that in there. So it looks a little bit better, doesn't it? Hey, but that's the best we can do. And what we've got here, let's bring the audio up, we can actually hear them.
You know, I only found this out because Sophie told me
so this is the commissioning editor of Netflix. This is the commissioning editor of Netflix. I mean, this has been a fantastic conference.
Really fascinating.
What's her name? I have to put my glasses on for this.
And I think that
Anne Mensah and Boyd Hilton. So this must be one of the really cool talks. They've had Steve McQueen, George the Poet, Oliver Dowden, Culture Minister Tim Davie, the new Director General of the BBC. Lots of cool people, 200 odd people, 5,500 people registered, 6 stages, and you've got to check this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm really just very quickly going to show you how cool this platform is, because I think that they've used a thing called Pop-In, and with this platform you can go to the summit, which is where we are now, so I click on there and it knows I'm there, but I can go into the factory, which is a place where there are loads of other talks going on. So they've got, at the moment, we've got Finding the Creativity in Education, that sounds interesting, somebody there, Immersive for All, University of Kent Alumni Showcase. Let's click on Finding the Creativity in Education, go to that. So this is just lots of videos going on at the same time. So it's kind of like a framework or a front end for Zoom. Look, they've got 6 people chatting there. There's Penny. Turn the audio up a bit.
So thank you, Lucy. Lucy, is that something, I mean, again, you know, on the cultural learning side of things, you know, we know that
so can't do much with that, can we? We really can't do much with that because they're all in 6 different windows. But the way we do it here, the way we're doing it here is quite different, because we've got complete control, believe it or not, which is first for me, I must admit, to have anything under control. So my audio's a bit loud, isn't it? Let's turn my audio down a bit. That should be a bit better. Okay. Let me show you some cool things there that they've got in here. So, for example, this platform's called Pop-In, and it's really, really cool. Now, it's a shame, well, I've only just discovered it. I don't know how many people are on it, but if you go to the social district and click Ready, believe it or not, it's going to find somebody randomly to have a chat with me. I don't want to use that video because that's not very exciting, is it? That's the microphone, that's fine. This probably isn't going to work, actually. I can flick that off. So I can send a video down the screen. I'm going to get video feedback. This isn't going to work because I've got this on the wrong system, so I'm going to cancel that. So basically what could have happened there is that random people come up and you have a video call with them. So if there are 5,500 people on this platform, you can speed date with anybody, obviously assuming they come in. But if I, for example, want to go to the people bit here, which is really cool. So he says, why isn't that working? There we go. So I can go over here, for example, and I can browse through on the side everybody who is registered for the event. So I can scroll through them there. So for example, I could see Chief Design Officer somewhere, so Kat Drew, Chief Design Officer at the Design Council, so I could send her a message. I could click on the button there, I won't do it now, invite to video call, and that will send her a link and we can actually have a quick video conference at the event. So I think this is a brilliant platform, Pop-In or whatever it's called. But the problem is, it's what's in that window that's the killer, isn't it? It's what's in this window here, and for me,
Creative Coalition Festival for
it's a bit boring. It's just a bit, we've got some bookcases there, look, they've curated their pictures behind them. They've obviously just finished now, but we should be doing more than this in the creative industries. So what we've got here, I am going to show you live now what we've actually got in this room. So why hasn't that worked? Because I've got to press that. There we go. So here I am in my green screen studio. So I am streaming here. There you go, there's me. Okay, so that's me over there. And it's not me you want to see, it's the kit. Look at this. So this is the system we've got set up now. Why is that music playing? Because that's on there, isn't it? Okay, so the video's a bit judgy, unfortunately. And that's the problem with screen sharing video. You don't get good video, although it looks quite good. So basically what I've got here is I've got 3 laptops. So you can see these 3 laptops here. And I did a talk this morning with Anne, Kenneth and Shona. And they were all they all dialed in on these laptops. So these laptops are Skype computers. Okay, so these 3 laptops here are essentially all running Skype, and they come into my system. So that's like phoning a radio show or whatever. So they're sitting there on video calls. I can then video mix them on a Vision mixer system here, which is like a DJ mixer but that does video. So I've got complete control over them. What I really like is I've got an iPad here, and this iPad has a whole load of functionality that's kind of built into that. So for example, I've got a little sound mixing desk here. That's really cool. Let's get that in front of the camera so I can turn the volume down. You probably can't hear me, or maybe you can, or maybe I turned the wrong one. I don't know. Maybe it's not going through that. So that's really cool. But I've got loads of presets on here, so I can say, right, well, let's pull up Kenneth main screen. So suddenly Kenneth's main screen. Suddenly Anne's main screen, and how about me and Anne? So there's Anne on the Cardboard Pyramid stage, and if Anne and Kenneth wanted to be on together, I should be able to press, not that one shown. Okay, that's a bit of a tricky one, that because I haven't got the graphic printed, so okay, I'm not going to bore you with why that happened. I know why, don't you worry. So we had complete control when we did our call using this system. So that's what's going on there. And then if we turn that off there and back to the system, so that's Vision mixing the video there. I'm not going to bore you with the technology behind this, but there's a real issue with doing this, and that's an audio thing that took me a long time to find, and I have got the scars to prove it. Believe me, that was hardcore. You take so much for granted, because if you think about it, Anne wants to be able to speak and hear Kenneth and wants to be able to hear those others, so we had to send the signal background. So you've got HDMI splitters and audio sound cards, and over here is a massive, well, I say massive, it's a big one for me, lots and lots of buttons. So that's how I control all the audio. So there's one of those for every one of these 3 computers, there's one for the laptops, there's one so I've got all those channels there, and I can turn the audio on and off and control that. Because the audio is a bit hooky, we've got sound, these are USB sound cards which connect, so I've had to buy all those. This is all Arts Council funded, so you paid for this if you've ever bought a lottery ticket, and thank you so much. Can't thank you enough, because we built this at the start of the summer. LGFL, which is a charitable trust, education charitable trust, John Jackson, got the money together really quickly and helped fund this. The Arts Council gave us an emergency grant. We just got another cultural relief grant. We're not going to stop. This is just brilliant. And we want to share this platform. So if anybody wants to live stream a theatre production, art production event, a community event, we want to help you do that. But more to the point, Tim Davey was talking the other day about the future of local radio, public service broadcasting. Apparently he's got Sky and Netflix and Facebook and Google. I didn't see anybody from the community on that panel, but whatever, I'm sure they know what they're doing. And in fact, public service broadcasting is actually the BBC anyway, isn't it? And ITV and Channel 4 and Channel 5, whatever. But, you know, I think there's an opportunity here for grassroots broadcasters. And we want to put people on the road with Steamco drop trucks, little trailers that they can buzz around the country, running creativity days, and live stream stuff like this. And all this kit from here and taken it to schools and set it up in a school assembly hall and live streamed to one class in front of me. In fact, there were three, because it's a massive school, 3 form entry. And we live streamed via Zoom to all the other classes in their bubbles across the school, and then on a secure YouTube page to the parents at home. So we had the parents at home buzzing. It was absolutely brilliant. And we want to do that for the next 4 or 5 weeks leading up to Christmas as our part of our Aim High 20 tour. I'll tell you about that in a minute. So that's where was I? Got excited, didn't I? Pictures of sandcards there. Okay, got a bit bored with that. So that's the setup there. And then here we've got a laptop. This laptop controls the streaming. So on the screen here, you should be able to see on that screen there. So that's everything that's going out. I've got sound and everything I can control there, and I could put subtitles on if I knew how to do that. But God, one thing at a time, because this is a lot. Believe me, this is a lot to keep your head around. Then there's another laptop here. And that's my PowerPoint laptop. It's a Microsoft Surface. The screen is busted and it doesn't come off on that. So if anyone wants to treat me to a new one or knows anybody at Microsoft who can help, I'd be very grateful to get that sorted. So that's the kind of setup we've got on the table there. So not much room for much else. I've got my cup of coffee. Shouldn't have things near the laptops. I did have that on the floor earlier. Got my rockets. Got all my props. We've got this. This is epic. Check this out. This is a robot that can solve a Rubik's Cube in 2 minutes. That's pretty cool. And the other thing to note, this is why I'm going to I believe it or not, I've actually had a bit of a tidy up because somebody was in here making a film about this the other day. Okay, that's my messy desk. Less of that the better. And then over here you'll see it behind, so I've got lights here. Look, this is all proper lights. I've got these professionally kind of light off. I've got a mirror ball up there because we do DJ parties on Saturday night occasionally. Need some DJs for Leeds. And then there, look, you see that we've actually got a big telly on the top shelf and a clock, just like being in a real studio, and that tells me that's why sometimes I'm looking over there, because I'm looking at that and I'm not looking at you. I probably need to move my camera up, because looking up's not quite the same, is it? And then over here, all sorts of stuff on my kind of maker shelves. So this is my this is my home office. You can probably see now why I don't particularly want anybody to see my bookshelves, because my bookshelves are a bit of a mess, aren't they? Cardboard stuff, rockets, trains. Where's my train? Got a brilliant train over here. Check this out. Got the best train in the world. That's used to call that train over there Beauty. I think the boys used to call that. There you go. Look, it's a proper steam train. There you go. That's not a bad old shelf, is it? Let's keep that shelf up. Don't know if you can see that. There's actually a proper steam train there behind this little robot. And that's what this is all about. We're launching a thing called the hashtag Rocket Kids Club, which I forgot to mention on the stream. And basically we want to build an online school, an out of school club for kids who want to be creative, and we want to get creatives involved, blah, blah, blah. Oh my goodness, one thing at a time. Yeah, I didn't mention that. We didn't have much time, but not to worry. So we're doing a Patreon to fundraise. We're looking for sponsors. We're looking for companies to help us put more Steamco drop trucks on the road. We are what else are we doing? We're doing podcasts, so the hashtag ArtConnects podcast. There are 3 out there at the moment from last year. We're going to be doing a whole load in a series called 20. Talk Walkers 20, Creative Carers Walking the Talk. Is it creative? Yeah, hashtag Talk Walkers 20 podcast. So yeah, I keep making hashtags up. So that's how we roll. That's Steamco. Let me jump back to that, and that should pull up that stage there. Yeah, so basically at the moment we are going to be live streaming all summer, all autumn, or winter. We're going to be doing Art Connect shows, Rocket Kids Club shows. We're doing the Aim High, hashtag Aim High 20 Festival at Parklands Primary up there in Leeds. 4th, 5th, 6th of December. We're going to be doing some live streams in assemblies in schools for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So if any schools want to get us in, if anybody wants to pay for us to go into schools, because we're trying to raise some money somehow. And then after Parklands, we're going to do a 2-week tour of Britain, the hashtag 12 Creative Christmas, 12 Days of Creative Christmas, where we're going to talk about the 3 greatest gifts. 3 greatest gifts you can give a child, whether you've got kids or not. Number 1, some of your time. If you're a parent, to read with, to make with, to do with, to think with, to just be with. Time. Stories, reading, books. Kids need books. They need stories to inspire them, and that's what the creative industry is all about. So who out there knows any good stories? Who could write some stories? Who could inspire some kids? Time, stories, and art. We've got to give our kids their art. We've got to help them find their art. We've got to help all our kids aim not just high in life, but higher than high. Because art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. He says, desperately trying to unhide a few PowerPoint slides. Let me show you this bit. Oh darn, it's hidden them all. Let's unhide them. So it worked? Yeah, that's worked. So art, what is art all about? Well, art, I've got the t-shirt, as you can see, art, as Grayson Perry is just about to whack me with a cake. Art is what we call it when what we do might connect us to somebody else. So somebody's art could be painting, somebody else's art could be photography, somebody else's art could be dancing, or design, like Morag Myerscough, or DJing, or fashion, or football, or cooking, or coding. Every kid loves Minecraft. Let's teach them coding, let's teach them to code robots or rockets. I go into schools and fire dynamite rockets. It absolutely gets the community buzzing. It really connects families and communities with their school. We get the kids making paper rockets that can fire 200 feet using an industrial pressure launching system that we've got. It's just off the scale. You have no idea how much fun it is in connecting with schools in this way. Robots, rockets. Stephenson's rocket, a lad who was illiterate until he was 14, who invented the steam train, the world's fastest passenger carrying steam train, if you really want to get technical, in Rainhill, which actually ran a Conservative Member of Parliament over for Liverpool, which obviously is a tragedy, and we don't want that happening again. And we really say that this is all about art for all. We reach out to people like Elton John, who has inspired us so much with his story, to support us. He's talked about being part of something in 2022. Well, I'm sure he's going to go back on the road if he can. We need that help right here, right now, because in 2022 is a National Festival of Creativity. We're not part of the official one. We're going to do grassroots, #Festival22. Watch this space for that. So that's what we've been talking about. That's what we've been doing. That's what we've been talking about down here at White City on our cardboard pyramid stage. We absolutely rinsed it. I would hope that everybody who was here would agree. Live from London, the Creative Coalition 20 Festival with the Creative Industries Federation, Creative England. So grateful. But more than anything, just grateful to this amazing man here, Sir Ken Robinson, who inspired me personally as a dad, as a creative from the creative industries for 20 years, 30 years, whatever it is, inspired me to do something, to walk his talk. And that's why we've appealed today to creative carers, #creative carers, people who care about kids, creativity and all our futures, because you can't ignore or leave any of those out. We're calling for talk walkers to walk his talk, to be part of his legacy, #talkwalkers20. We're launching a Patreon to raise some funds, £1 a month if you can afford it, a £5 or a tenner, or if you're a blue chip organisation and give us £50,000, you will put a Steamco drop truck and a person on the road for a year, going into communities, going into schools and empowering and inspiring and helping us rebuild society. In memory of Sir Ken Robinson, the most inspiring man I've known, a dangerously inspiring man. I'm going to leave you now with a film that we've borrowed because we do that occasionally. I'm sorry, we do believe in intellectual property, we believe in respecting creativity, but at the same time there are occasions when we think there are some people we don't mind or don't feel we have to ask to borrow from. 2 years ago we borrowed, we ripped off, we repurposed, we reposted Elton John's film with John Lewis about his life, The Boy and the Piano. Well, we rebranded ours The Boy and the Train Set, the boys and their train sets, and you've got to check that film out. You won't believe how that's inspired the last 2 years. This film by Amazon and by Lucky Generals, the advertising agency based in the UK, have produced the most wonderful film. We've downloaded it, we've mashed it, we've subtitled it and we've put it back. This film, for me, says it all about what we're doing, and certainly what we're doing in the next week, months ahead. Please, please, please be part of it.
Good evening. All schools across the country will close until further notice, as coronavirus reached 100.
Chris Dyson. Can we have Chris Dyson on this stage, please?
As I said, we're in the toughest area in Leeds, and yet our school children, the children that actually sit on the interview panel for the Northern Ballet, because I want to give them an opportunity that they've never sort of had before. And it shows if you believe in the people, you believe in these teachers, you believe in these kids, absolutely anything is possible.
Chris Dyson there, head teacher at Parklands Primary School we collaborate with and work with up there in Leeds. Everything you've just seen, the talk that you may have missed today, the Creative Coalition 20 panel we did in memory of Sir Ken Robinson, that is available on our website. We'll be putting that up there and on our podcast. So go to steamco.org.uk/news/Creative Coalition 20. steamco.org.uk/news/Creative Coalition 20. Just go to our blogs, it'll be the top blog. Thank you so much for tuning in. If anybody would like to collaborate with us, #collaborate20, that's this year. We want to work with people in communities and arts organisations and freelance and creatives. We're all artists, but a creative is somebody whose art is their livelihood. They don't need to retrain. They don't need to look anywhere else. We have to support them. We have to value them. We valued creativity in lockdown. We now need to stand by all our creatives. Thank you very, very much for checking this out.